man, what's up? What's up, everybody? Hey, I gotta tell you, it's been a crazy day today for me. I don't know what it's been like for you, but you know, at least it's coming to an end. And the thing about it, I got a special treat for you folks. You know what I'm saying? Let's understand one thing. Here at On the Rise Radio, we welcome artists. And today, we're gonna welcome an artist. And you know, I was listening and reading up on this gentleman, and I was like, oh my goodness, it sounds like something like when I was growing up, like the things that he's done as far as music and everything like that, which has been amazing, his journey. And we're gonna have him in the, you know, we're gonna have him in the, not in the actual studio, but we're gonna give him a call. We're gonna chop it up with him, and we're gonna make sure, you know, y'all enjoy this show today, because like I said, you know, after reading up and finding out this gentleman's bio and everything, I was pretty like, what? You know, and it's a trip that, you know, sometimes, you know of an artist and you've heard their music before, but you don't know really their journey in the music game. And I gotta say, when I was reading this gentleman's bio, the journey that he has been an amazing journey, and I am pleased to have this gentleman on my show. But hey, before we get into that, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna bring something out. I'm not gonna tell you, some of you might know, but I'm gonna put one of his old songs in the system and let y'all check that out. All right? So hey, here we go on the Rise Radio.
Wonder Woman ropes. Tell all the homie business. From a hood rap
folks. I gotta tell you, was that some funky ass shit right there? Hey, let's welcome the incomparable Kokane. What's up?
What's up with King?
All right, man. I swear to God, I listen to your music, and guess what it does? It just brings back memories of a lot of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was all about that funk in my life growing up, straight up.
Oh yeah, man. Funk is something, a beautiful thing, especially coming from the chocolate cities.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
sure.
I was, I spoke with you and I said, I gotta get into you because, there's things that I was checking you out as far as your journey in this game, and your history runs very deep, even down to your father. And I mean, the things that been accomplished in your life are wonderful. I mean, great. And the thing about it, you come originally from the Bronx, New York, right?
Right, born in South Bronx.
Okay, so your transition to California, how young, what was your age when you did that?
I was just an infant, so I really don't know about the lifestyle of New York.
Okay.
During that time, I stayed out in New York until, it was an infant size. And my dad had some work in Detroit in California. And, because he's one of the greats at Motown Records.
Yes.
So we made that exodus from New York to California. First moved to Los Angeles with my grandparents. During that time, pops and mom were separated. It was tough back then.
Right.
And stayed with my grandparents, and then we located to a town called Pomona, California.
Yep.
And that's where I grew up. That's where, I got my style, my language from, so to speak. And that's it. But, it's a beautiful thing to be born in New York, you know what I'm saying, in the Bronx, and being a West Coast pioneer. So I kind of identify that with Ice-T and Tupac as well, because they're from the East Coast.
Right,
actually.
right. And that's the thing I was noticing too, because you came from New York, and I used to live in Pomona, so I know what you're talking about, And,
Pomona's a small town, but we're kicking up a lot of dust.
Yes. As a matter of fact, sugar-free from that way.
Yeah, exactly.
You actually work with
the west side of Pomona.
You actually work with Sugar-Free. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh man, I've been knowing DeJuan Walker. Even knowing Jerry Long. Since he was knee high to the curb.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a blessing that we come from, the same territory, and being able to, grow in our creativity and create, somewhat of a monster, 30-something years later.
Right.
It's just incredible, and also being able to see Sugar Shane Mosley from Pomona,
right.
really, put that legendary stamp into the sports world. So,
right.
I'm proud to come from Pomona, and it's always a treat for players me to work with Sugar-Free. Actually, we got a project coming out called Sugar Cane, which stands for Sugar-Free and Cocaine.
Okay.
And that'll be coming out soon. Actually this year we dropped in a couple singles, and just getting ready for the album. So it's always a blessing.
Oh man.
To, share that space with my creative brother, Sugar-Free.
All right. And I'm looking a little bit, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Listening to your album, or listen to your songs, not your album, you listen to your songs, you remind me of the stuff I used to listen to, because then I looked and noticed you've even done work with George Clinton.
Yeah. Work with George, work with Bootsy, Ernie Burrell, Catfish, Larry Blackhead, that.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, the first album that I got as a kid was by, where it came out. You remember Maggot Brain?
Absolutely. I had a chance to see the mothership come down in the 70s.
Okay. I mean, I was heavy into the P-Funk era at that time growing up. So when I heard your music, I was like, oh shit. Why have I not had this in my catalog?
Wow. Well, you know, for years, you know, because of the controversy of the name, it wasn't so radio friendly. So, you know, instead of taking the main streets to the industry, I took the back streets.
Right. Well,
even when we changed our name to spell it Kokane, to use it as a word called dope, which is a hip hop favorite word, dope, fresh.
Right.
You know, at that time, FCC laws wasn't having it. You know, they thought somebody was coming in advocating dope, but all we was talking about is that when you hear cocaine, you going to get hooked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But even, I'll tell you a funny story. It was an interview I was doing, and they had an actual Coca-Cola sponsor at that time.
Okay.
And they asked me a crazy name, you know. Well, why you name cocaine? I said, because I'm dope. When you hear my music, it's dope. But I'm not the cocaine that you sponsored by. They actually used to put cocaine in their products, but never changed the name.
Right.
It's still called Coke.
Right.
So they didn't want to have me around like, oh, this nigga got some intelligence. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it was good for me because I always pride myself on the music before the fame and the, you know, the Fifi bag and, oh, this and none of that. No, I just like getting to it. It's right.
Well, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. You have a resume that's unbelievable. You know, like I said, I'm surprised that I've never actually heard it in the mainstream like it should be. Even though what you worked on several albums and several records with other people, I've heard your music, you know what I'm saying? Because I was looking at some of the music that you've actually been on. And, you know, like with Ruthless Records and stuff like that, you know. I mean, I've been listening to you and never knew that it was you. It's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people know that. It's kind of like, you ever seen the old episodes of Charlie's Angels where you never did see Charlie, but you heard him on the intercom?
Right.
It's kind of like that.
Right.
You know, it helped build up some mistakes because people don't know that this is a 30-plus year ride, and I've been on 1,000 features, more features than any recording artist been in the history.
Right.
You know, I've been on multi-million records from Puff Daddy to Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, of course Snoop. I helped him turn his whole sound around after leaving the No Limit situation. So, you know, but now people are starting to come around because, you know, the internet and people have to hibernate. And just recently, last 2 years, a lot of people are really waking up to what cocaine involvement is, the influence, etc.
And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, and speaking of that, okay, the music that's out now, okay, with the different, to me, it's a different way of performing. They're selling records, but what they call it, the mumble rap or something like that, or, you know, what is your take on the way the music industry is right now with the rap and stuff that they have?
Well, I mean, you know, different strokes for different folks, you know what I mean? Back when we were growing up, you know, my grandparents were so jazz orientated because my grandfather's cousin was Charlie Bird Parker, the real Charlie Bird Parker.
Okay.
So my grandfather was heavily into the tap dance, into the jazz. His partner was U.B. Blake, Miles Davis. And they always used to come around and be like, what is this hip hop? I mean, it was digging funk and soul because it had that type of soulness and live instrumentation. But they didn't understand it when we was growing up in the 70s. They was like, what are y'all listening to? That ain't music.
Right.
So I learned to not bash the kids so much because they style and they style. But the difference between the mumble rap style and our grandparents telling us to shut the hip hop stood for something. It was a representation of change. It was a representation of brothers getting together in the backyard and making some things happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was about the culture. It was about making you think. Making you sharp with your words. So it's a little bit different from the mumble rap because they mostly incorporate lean, Draco, and they kill 10,000 niggas in a 4-bar verse. So it's kind of different. You know, make up a funny story like, you know, they talk about the tight jeans and stuff. Well, we had no tight jeans. I mean, go look at those old school pictures of Too Short and Ice T. We used to have our shirts tucked in, but it was a different representation.
Right.
Nowadays, you know, a majority, not all, a majority of those people, you know, groups that are mumble rapping and wearing the skinny jeans, it's just a different representation. Right. It's more of a, we ain't listening to grandma no more. Right. We don't care about table manners. No, we're validated as legends in our 20s. So it's really kind of like flip-flop, like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And I'm not bashing the young generation, like, you know, because you can't play basketball forever. You need a fresh pair of legs on the court. You know what I mean? But it's just, you know, if there's no balance in the music, it's going to be in like disco. And you see what disco did, it was in, and then it was out.
Right.
But something about soul music and funk music, it transcended forever.
Tell me
because back when my father was at Motown, you know, with the Funk Brothers, they was doing all those records with Just Imagination, Papa Was Rolling Stone, all those great records.
Right.
And even then, Bootsy Collins and George Clinton learned from the Funk Brothers.
Okay.
So it was real tribal. But somehow, since the internet got here, all the handing down the baton and tribal mostly shelling out disrespect and gossip as opposed to the authenticity of good music.
Yes, sir. Speaking of authenticity, let's get into this first song of yours. Tell us a little bit about it. It's called Don't Make Me Shit.
Oh, that song is, you know, talking that shit from the lifestyle where we come from. You know, it's like, you know, everybody, like, you doing this and you ain't doing that. And then when you look at the internet, like I reiterate, it turned what about good music as opposed about the gossip of music. I mean, there's no such word as celebrity no more, A&Rs. I mean, you could practically, somebody can shoot yourself in the foot or eat up a cockroach and go viral.
Right.
And that didn't have nothing to do with music, and I never would ponder on the thought and said music would be in shambles like that. Right. But it was destined to happen like that because when you go back to the Billie Holiday days, you know, they've been fucking us for a minute. You know what I'm saying? All the artists, there's a lot of artists that didn't make it, did some great, incredible things. So basically, the Don't Make Me Shit means that I don't fall under that umbrella no more. Right. I'm independent. My dad and my Uncle Willie Hutch and all of my ancestors before me paved the way for me to have the autonomy and independence to start really rebounding. Now, the person that did rebound, and I'll mention this, was Sam Cooke. That's why they killed him. Sam Cooke was incredible because he, at the end of the day, controlled his outcome, Destiny Publishing. So basically, with all that wrapped up, just to give a light scenario, that's what it means. It's like, what you do in the music industry, what you do in your household, what you do over there, I don't care what you do, because what you do, it don't make me shit.
Right. All right, folks, go ahead and let them know what they got to do on this one. Let's go.
On this one, you're not going to be able to get it at iTunes. You're not going to be able to get it at Amazon. You got to go directly to my page at www.buddyboymusic.com, and that's spelled www.music.com. That way you can pick up the new singles, get the classic Kokane collection. You know what I'm saying? So on this one right here, I'm on my Prince shit with slave written in my beard, like, what you do don't make me shit, run it.
All right. Turn that up a little bit.
I don't mean to sound so arrogant. I just switch up on the nigga with the 16 to keep it funky like your own mama pop that brain. I'm the king of the hoops, what the fuck you mean? You've been bumping Kokane, this the gangsta scene. Don't put your business in these streets. Niggas be here 10 days a week. Club red hoes, all they want is cheap. But I ain't here, he ain't me. Section 8 hustling, boy I'm not impressed. Y'all playing checkers, but nigga I'm playing chess. And I could care less who the best from the west. And I could care less, all that shit get you stressed. And I could care less what another nigga does. Too busy laser beam focused on my own shit, cuz. And I could care less about niggas complaining. That's why you don't see me. What the fuck was you thinking? My pockets so swole, but you niggas is licking. I'm eating potatoes, but you niggas is baking. I ain't hunting ducks when it's whack and season. G's turn widows, committing that high trees. And dirty like your old ass grandpappy. Stick and move, hood boy, stay away from the crap. Out on my own clothing line, smoke my own strain. There's a million MCs, but only one Kokane. What you do, don't make me shit. What you do, don't get my grip. You can hate all day, but I don't trip. I stay away from all sucker shit. Thought it was a coming with the gangsta hits. I was waiting for you stress to get off that tip. Because everybody getting on that real shit. Don't say no more because this is it. Everybody waiting on that real shit. I keep it OG. Never met a nigga like me. There's a million MCs, but only one Kokane.
All right, everybody, this is your boy Shogun. I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to bring that back because we didn't get to hear the beginning of it, so let's bring it back. This is Kokane. Don't make me shit again on the Rise Radio. Let's go. Let's get it. All right. I'm eating potatoes, but you niggas is baking. I ain't hunting ducks when it's whack and season. G's turn widows, committing that high trees. And dirty like your old ass grandpappy. Stick and move, hood boy, stay away from the crap. I want my own clothing line, smoke my own strain. There's a million MCs, but only one Kokane. What you do, don't make me shoot. What you do, don't get my grip. You can hate all day, but I don't trip. I stay away from all sucker shit. Thought it was a demo with the gangsta hits. I was waiting for you stress to get off that tip. Because everybody getting on that real shit. Don't say no more because this is it. that right there? So I gotta give respect to that one. That right there, I gotta be honest with you. Your music is, if you don't mind, is gonna stay in the rotation here at On The Rise Radio.
Oh man, I appreciate that, brother. Real talk.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I just love listening to your music, because like I said, it just makes me think about a lot of things when I was growing up and stuff like that, and then the thing is, I'm actually from the East Coast. I'm from Ohio. And I'm actually...
Good town, always done.
Yeah, that's where I'm from. And I came out here in 82 through the military. And I had a friend, Mr. Hudson, that brought me up to LA. And I mean, when I seen this city, this town, everything around, I couldn't even go back to Ohio because I'm from a small town, like 3,000 people. So I'm a country boy, so.
Yeah, actually, my wife is from Cleveland.
Oh, is that right?
And I got an artist from Cleveland too, and that's where I used to hustle out in Youngstown.
Okay. Oh.
Town City.
See, that's where my people is. Youngstown, New Philly, Dayton, Dover, and I used to go to Cleveland in the summers when I was a kid, and we used to stay on 113th and Harvard. That's where we used to hang out as kids.
Right. My wife's a Sinclair baby.
Okay. And speaking of your wife,
good people.
Speaking of your wife, I noticed she also is like the vice president and everything, or she runs the label.
Right.
So this is a family business because I'm looking, your son, was he the vice president? You have a daughter, graphics, promotionals department. I got to respect you to the fullest because like I said, you got your family that basically helps you run it. And that's the same way with On The Rise Radio. My wife is basically the one that runs everything. As a matter of fact, my son, he's 11 years old. He's the actual vice president of the company and the DJ of the show.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I respect you to the fullest. When I was like, God, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. Don't get me wrong, man, but some of the things that you accomplished and everything, you remind me of how I used to. So it must be in the system of how you was brought up with your parents and everything like that.
Oh yeah, but a lot of things, the way they happen, it happened in the most organic fashion. I've been with my woman since '84. You know what I mean? And we have 8 wonderful children, 4 boys, 4 girls. I don't have no ills. And married 31 years, been with her for 37.
Man.
And after going through so much hardships of, contracts being faulty, fake ass managers, my wife was always there. One day she sat me down, just before I made the move from California to Washington. And it had this one word, this one sentence she said to me had an impact. She said, "Why are you always running away from me when you know I'm the one here for you?" So when she said that, it just it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Right.
Like, okay, God, this is what you was telling me. You wasn't going to allow the doors to be opened up so much until I get this part correct. So I said, baby, I'm tired of playing with it and tired of doing this. And let's create our company. Because my name is Jerry Buddy Long. I'm Jerry Buddy Long Jr. My pops is Jerry Buddy Long Sr. from Motown, the legend.
Right.
So I said, Buddy Boy is a friendly orientated name. Let's use that name. And we don't have to depend on nobody. We're going to create our own stuff, babe. We're going to have the kids being on, doing stuff, all the way from videos to promotions to artwork to etc. Just down the whole line.
Right.
And it was so much good for me because it's like veil got lifted off me of freedom. You know, I was finally free. And then, you know, the realest nigga that I could ever trust in this business is my wife.
Right.
And that may sound funny, but I really mean it wholeheartedly. She the one who got all my publishing together. She the one who did the extensive research to find out that I was on thousands of features. Right. You know what I mean? And that's what saved me. That's what was the fortunate thing with my career and allowed me to transcend. Right. You know, because once we did the Doghouse thing, you know, everybody basically broke apart, and I did a little county time, you know, and they gave me time to think in jail. Yes, you know, I did a little county bid, and I just heard the voice, like, right. You know, it's like when they say you hear the voice of God, I'm gonna tell you something, there is a God. And when I heard that voice, ooh, I just knew what to do. Brother,
man, I told you, man, I got mad respect for you. You're sharing things with you. I want to share with you something as well.
Yes, sir.
I walked out the gates of a level 4 in 2002 with $200 and my 2 sons to where I'm at now. You understand what I'm saying? God sat me down for 3 years and says, you know what? We got to talk because I need you to get things right. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it, he sat me down, and guess what? God is good, life is good, and I have a beautiful woman, I got a beautiful wife in my life. And like I said, that's what I don't know what it is, brother, we vibe. I respect you to the fullest of, man, you just
reciprocate that back, because it's like, look, you go through a whole hula hoop of things in life, and God's mercy is so big, you know what I'm saying, to where, you know, you put the karma out there, you know God saved you for a reason. And once you start to understand that, then you understand what design means. Yes, sir. So the same things that hurt you, you start celebrating and saying, thank you, God, for letting it happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, that's what happened to me. My eyes was open, like, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
And if I didn't encounter this fakeness over here with this manager or this dude, this wouldn't happen right here. And it's not how I tell people, it's not how you start the race, it's how you finish it, playboy.
Yes, sir. I gotta say, you know, I'm telling you, man, you got me all twisted, because we like 2 peas in the pod, you know what I'm saying? Because you know how, like, you'll bring people on with you for that ride and say, hey, I got you 100. Them are the ones that actually did it, that do you wrong. And
what was the sheep clothing? That's what it's about. You know? There it
is. You know,
that's all they want to do. But, you know, I have a saying, brother, you know, in nature, once you realize it and you can start looking at things from, you know, your open eye, which is your mind, you got to realize, man, all the sperm cells don't get to the egg.
Right.
There's only one that gets to the egg.
Right.
And if you've been blessed enough to get to the egg, to birth new ideas, well, man, that God got something special for you and your family, because he can trust you.
Yep.
See, God looking for people he can trust.
Yes, sir.
Not photo op preachers or photo op, you know, people that, you know, doing it to, you know, self-loathing, making, you know, publicity stunt type people. Right. You know, I pray for them, but, you know, it just, you know, allowed me to move on and secure my future, so that way I can secure my daughter and my kids' future when I hand down the baton, which I'm doing now.
Right.
And it's just a beautiful outcome. You know, the turnaround stories are always more beautiful than you going through.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna tell you right now, me and you have met for a reason. Because one thing about it, God only brings people in your life that you need to have in your life, and he basically gets you to see what's going on in your life. And basically, like I said, everything's going in the right direction, because you just gave me a story where your world is almost, I swear, as similar as mine, and it's going in the right direction. So evidently it's going in the right direction.
Amen.
Because this
amen to that, brother.
This station used to be called Street Notes Records. when all that changed, it became on the rise radio. So I believe in rising, and that's the thing about it, you know what I'm saying? And you have just rose with me, and I gotta be honest with you, man. You know, it's a pleasure having you here on the I wish I could have you in person, you know what I'm saying? But this is just the same as good.
I'll be, where are you located at?
I'm located in Southern California in like the Corona area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's about off the 91 freeway.
Yeah, that's where I like.
Yeah, I'll be out in Cali coming up on the 25th. I got a couple videos I'm shooting.
Oh, okay.
One is with my cousin, Code 187. So we're doing that Architecture G-Funk type of thing again.
Okay, I'm gonna just drop a real quick shout out because you're getting ready to come down and do some filming. I'm also an actor.
Oh, word.
So if you need some extras, you know, I just give you a quick resume. I was in the NAA movie. I was in Straight Outta Compton. I was in Janky Promoters. Okay, but like I said, if you ever need if you ever need somebody, you know, let's look me up, you know what I'm saying? I got you, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it for GP like I do it for my other brother, you know what I'm saying? He needs me to come through.
Man, that's solid.
I come through for you, you know. And even I
appreciate it.
Hey, brother, let me tell you, I'm in the union, okay? But the thing about it, it's not about the money. It's about going to where you want to go and do what you want to do. And that's what it is about.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, if you're having fun, I'm in my 50s, and I'm having fun doing this. And I told me and Brother Cool Rock from the Fat Boys, I'm actually going to be in New York. I got a single coming out with him called Hush. And we're going to film that video around May 29th. But we really taking it back to the origins of hip-hop, the origins of G-Funk. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't know, you know, that Above the Law Kokane is actually the architects of a style of music called G-Funk.
Right. You know, and the thing about, like, moving on to that, you was, so you're related to somebody from Above the Law.
Yeah, Code 187.
Code 187. So the thing about it, I'm reading this, I'm like all this music and these labels, like Above the Law. I used to live, and maybe I'm mistaken, but what's that Above the Law? Did they have a song that said, it's like me and my homie rolling in the something?
Yeah, it's like that was BSOP.
Okay.
The late great KMG said that, rest in peace.
You know, and guess
everything is fine when you're rolling with your homies and a little bit of BSOP. Then they had Black Superman, Uncle Sam's Curse, Time of Reveal, California.
And like you said, it's when you're rolling with your homie. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm in the studio and I'm drinking on some Remy BSOP.
In the universe, right?
So I'm just saying, man, it's like everything happens for a reason, and that's, like I said, is, man, just talking to you. I wish I could talk to you for hours, but you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get into another one of these songs you got here. Let's let you tell everybody about it. Monkey Wasn't Funky.
Well, those two singles, Don't Make Me Shit and The Monkey Wasn't Funky, is straight G-Funk to the fullest. Real authentic G-Funk. And those two singles are off my upcoming album called Give Me Five on the Black Hand Side. It's really taking it back to the roots of the 70s, 80s, and 90s with a 2021 twist. And when you hear Monkey Wasn't Funky, it really reminds you of like Parliament's Knee Deep, but it's not sampling Knee Deep. Okay. It's not sampling George. You know, all the vocals on here were done by myself. There was one producer on there, a cat by the name of Mofak, and he's from France, an upcoming incredible musician. And all the musical composition that you hear from this next record, you're going to swear it's like, that's a sample. No, all that is original material because we are supposed to be inspired by the greats. Yes. You know what I mean? Even the greats were inspired by the greats before them. And it's just that handing down a baton that funk not only moves, it can remove.
Right.
And we put the Monkey Wasn't Funky single. It did extremely good overseas. So we're bringing it back home to wake up some of so take the blinders off the U.S. market. But overseas, this particular record is really taking wings. And you can get that single right now. That particular single is on iTunes and all that. But you can just also get it on my site at www.buddyboymusic.com. So Monkey Wasn't Funky. It's actually out on YouTube. And the Don't Make Me Shit single is out on YouTube. So when y'all get a chance, for your audience out there, make sure you go run them numbers up extra for your OG partner, you know, and subscribe to my channel at Kokane Videos. But this is the first single of the upcoming album, Give Me Five on the Black Hand Side. This is called Monkey Wasn't Funky.
Let's go. Tell you, man, your song, your music, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, Kokane, it's in the rotation. Please let me play it.
Oh man, I'm grateful, man. I appreciate that.
You know, and just to let you know, you got other artists I know that you deal with and everything like that, and you say you got some other stuff that's getting ready to release. Hey, I welcome them to the studio to be interviewed. You know, like I said, you know, you're part of the family now. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I appreciate that. Yeah, I got my daughter. Her name is Young Colombiana. Her real name is Anissa C. Long.
Okay.
And when y'all get a chance, follow her at AANISAH_LONG. And she's like daddy, like daughter, man. She be busting and she's super cool on them vocals, you know what I mean? So she got a cut coming out called Karma's a Bitch. She writes her own music, she directs her own video, edit. You know, she's a renaissance.
Oh man.
She did.
One of them blessings.
And it's just a blessing to see the kids, man. Like, a lot of people be like, man, you're on thousands of features, man. I didn't know you did this. I didn't know you did that. But I'll be like, that's cool. But the real success is being able to be a black man with a black woman and being with her for so long to be able to hand down what was so sacred to us from our ancestors to our children.
Right.
Teaching them about business. Teaching them about the do's and don'ts of the industry.
Yes, sir.
And my daughter's 25 years old. And for years, she wanted to come out with a record. But I know all too well as Mr. Miyagi saying, nah, you're not ready yet.
Right.
You know, and now it's just so beneficial to her and to me to know that she's finally get it. So she comes to Pops and say, now I understand, Pops, why you was doing what you're doing. Because through years, I was just putting her on my projects, building up her name.
Right.
And I told her, you know, if you want to be McDonald's in this game, the fast you come in, the fast you're gonna go out.
Right.
Your name is long, so you got to strive for longevity. You got to make sure your game is like a slow cooked meal, because if it's well seasoned, it's gonna taste good and it's gonna digest better.
Right.
So she understood, like, take your time.
Yes.
I think a lot of artists, get so frustrated because they're trying to identify their success with another man's success.
Right.
You know, if you really want to grow, because it's all about growth, well, then you got to find your own uniqueness and get out the traffic and create your own lane, because it's too much bumper to bumper traffic.
Right.
And I told my kids that. My wife really, because that sometimes, I got to wish her happy Father's Day, because when I was out hustling with the right intentions, it was for the wrong reasons, because I wasn't there. Now I slow down and know that it's very imperative that you be here for your family. You know what I'm saying? I just thank God every single day that I'm fortunate enough to do that for my family. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I totally understand. I totally agree. Like I said, I'm a father of 6 and a grandfather, and I'm 59. So I know exactly what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I just make sure that they're going in the right direction, doing everything right. And telling them, take your time when it comes to things. Take your time.
Yeah, you get it. It's a blessing. And look, even I'm 7 years younger than you, right?
Right.
But it feels so good to be replenished.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can hear the youthfulness in your voice. Same thing with me. So that's why I tell everybody, you're never too old to be dope.
Right.
You're never too old to start from scratch and have new beginnings.
Respect.
So I'm like a kid in a candy store. I just got a lot of gray hairs. That's all.
That's right. That's why I shaved my hair, so you wouldn't even see the gray.
Mm-hmm. I called you on FaceTime. You see my gray, my Hebrew?
I had see, I was back in those 80s and stuff when I was going to LA, and I was on Slauson going to Mario's, getting that Jerry curl. They was using that lie and stuff.
Oh yeah, lie, aging, all that.
Yep.
We come from the era where we didn't keep a pillow unless it was greasy.
Right.
I slept on mini and all of that. I'm like, look back, I used to have bad acne extra. Boy, but I sure did honor my Jerry curl.
Yep. Hey, I gotta ask you something, like, it's on a different subject, because of the times right now.
Right.
Times, like, I'll give you a brief way that I put it. Donald Trump woke me up to be more conscious of being black.
Right.
And some people might take that in the wrong way, but what it is like, you go through this world so much and don't pay attention to the racism because you don't look at it to the point that it is. It's there, but not to the point.
Right.
The point that I think he has made it surface to where I'm so conscious. And I gotta ask you, what with all this going on, you hear about these people, like the young man that was killed in Minnesota. You hear about the trial that's going on. You know, the young lady. I mean, all this different stuff. What is your take on what's going on right now in this world?
Oh man, you gotta look back. 400-something odd years ago. This was a reflection in the condition of the world's greatest thieves. You know, there's no honor amongst thieves.
Right.
You understand? And on this third stop, you got to realize, on this third stop, we have more influence culturally than any other country on the planet. On this third stop, I'm talking about the brothers and the sisters.
Right.
So it was something to strip you of your identity. First, they stripped us of our identity and had us, praise a Constantine made-up white Jesus Christ. That was a lie.
Right.
Secondly, it was an attack on not just the black man, but the black woman.
Right.
That was a lie. Then when we fend for ourselves and got it right, and really gonna, have some type of economic independence, they went in there like thieves and murderers that they are and tore down Black Wall Street.
Right.
Then they had people pitted against each other. This is a reflection of the biggest thieves that's walking the planet, that's in the control right now.
Right.
So it has to be something sad to say this. It has to be something brutal in order for us to wake up, because the road is narrow. You understand? So until we get to that point of stop marching, and I don't advocate that anybody should go, pick up a pistol and do some dumb shit, because the greatest gun you have is your mind. They don't want you to think.
Right.
You understand? So there are some things that we're going to be martyrs for, but more and more, God is telling us, I'm gonna wake my people up so they can let y'all go, but it's going to be brutal.
Right.
It's going to be martyrs. And this is not going to stop anytime soon. See, a lot of people look at the Republicans, but then no one ever really looked at the Democrats, and they just as more shitty as the Republicans.
Okay.
You understand? So the thing that I would suggest to anybody, because it's only a few people going to listen, start to research, start to get intelligence. Knowledge is power. That is the only thing that we're lacking. See, everybody want to do the tap dance and Bojangle thing in church, but nobody talked the most important part, which Jesus Christ was about, was economics. He said, render to what is Caesar and give God his.
Right.
You understand? And I'm not saying you have to be Christian or Muslim, whatever it is, but those words of wisdom really reflect on what's going today. So it's sad, you know what I'm saying, until brothers get to the point to stop having genocide as well, because it's easy to point the fingers at a lot of people and say, what you ain't doing for me, when we have the independence to do for ourselves.
Right.
And it all starts, you gotta think about it. Why is this happening? Because there was an attack on the black family. If I can break the black family up, if I can strip them for their name, if I can make them embrace what's the meaning of success on some blackface shit, then I can have them lost. All the way even from being experimented on, from the Tuskegee experiments and different other things that they did in the water. We have been lab rats ever since they stole us. So I tell people, back this people's coming to me and say, well, when we were slaves, I said, hold on. I said, my ancestors weren't slaves. They were stolen. They was captives.
Okay.
So you have to change the mindset.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes time. You got to remember this is over 400-something odd years, but you got to look back from the 6,000 year period. They only got so much time to reign. Right. Because you got to look back, man, Mansa Musa, all those, we had brothers that were kings and queens. We come from that.
Right.
We don't come from like, is we. Do you want some more biscuits, muscle?
Right.
Nah.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's sad that that has to happen. But this system has to get flip-flop upside down, because the police was originally there to chase niggas.
Yeah. Yes.
That's how they were created.
Yes. Yes.
So until you change that system, until you change legislation, until you change the racist crooks that are capitalizing off our suffering, shit's just gonna be the same. It's like it could be 10,000 more brothers get killed in the next 5 years, and what we gonna do? Continue to march?
Right.
Marching is only doing so much. We have to get intelligence. Right. We have to start spending black dollars and within our own, and trying to get black people who probably got $50 million from a sports contract. It's hard for them to change the mindset, because they don't get it in the long term. Right. It's only short term.
Right.
So that's sad, man. You know what I mean? But
it is.
There's going to be more examples, and that's even more sad to say.
It was crazy that you say that, because I was telling my wife today, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, honey. You know, she always tells me you gotta be calm and don't stop. But I'm saying that, like they did to this young man down in South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? This Army sergeant, you know what I'm saying? And I say that because I said, well, see, he was a young kid, small little kid, and he wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? Right. He wouldn't do that to somebody like me or you. And I said, the problem is if somebody tries something like that, I don't know how I'm going to restrain myself, because I'm not going to go for the disrespect. I'm just like I got to learn how to be able to turn that other cheek or whatever they want me to do. Because like I said, it would have been on and popping.
Yeah. Well, we got to get to the point where we got to stop caring about what people think. Because every time we talk about different other things, and I'm not a racist person at all. You know what I'm saying? People being locked in the cages, right. Jewish Holocaust is not correct. Right. But every time it comes to black people up here, they treat us like the bottom feeders. Right. And we can't even march and say, I love ourselves. Right. I love it. Oh, well, what about us? Well, what about the gay movement? And you can never identify your struggle with the worst Holocaust it ever was, 10 times worse than the Jewish Holocaust, and that's slavery. Right. Right. But everybody, don't talk about that. Oh shit, don't say that. Life's like a Pandora box. Right. And that's the same motherfuckers that want to keep you, manipulate you, keep you in the box. But every now and then, man, you're gonna have to put on your Marcus Garvey hat. Okay. And you're gonna have to fight. Right. Because God, it's a war. God is like, everybody's getting this out of context. No, God made sure he equipped his people, but they had to fight. Yeah. Yeah. And everybody, you got a bunch of scared Negroes running out there and saying like, well, Master Shogun, give me some cool water on a hot ass day on Sunday. Yeah. Right. And that's not going to work. Right. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? So it's only the less few people that minds that articulate that wisdom, but actually live the experience through their actions. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because it takes actions, Yes, sir. And it's like, I believe we can make a change as long as we have the conversation with each one, teach one, each one, teach one, each one, teach one. Yes, sir. It's right now, it's almost like the Underground Railroad, to tell you the truth. Yeah. Jim Crow is at an all-time high to me, because it's in front of you. Back then, it was in front of your face, but it's more hidden now. Right. Yeah. It's deep, and now it's time, Yeah. If you niggas are scared, you go over there. Right. Because we gonna stand for something, because the rich man, poor man in the grave. So you might as well have some dignity about yourself. And those that understand dignity, they're gonna lose a lot. They're gonna be ostracized. Right. They're gonna be discredited. Right. But hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like I'm willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? To stand up at a season to where, you know, I move by faith and not just emotions.
Yes.
Because that's a lot of problems. People move with emotions but don't have no intelligent plan by faith.
Right.
It's a season. You gotta say things and just hold back sometime. Right. You gotta say things and hold back sometime, and then let God maneuver everything around like on the chessboard, not the checkerboard. Right. Too many niggas is playing checker with the truth instead of playing chess.
Yes, that's right. I gotta tell you, brother, it is a pleasure. You know, I mean, you came here, and I got to be honest with you. I got to say, it's probably one of the best shows I've had since, you know, I interview a lot of people, and like I said, they'll have somebody that has a conscience, but is in the game of the rap game and have been up through the rap game like some people would never know the version you've been up through. So you've been up through them streets, and the way you're speaking now, that's what consciousness does for you. And people that are listening right now, you should have got a conscious reality check from this young man in the conversation we just had.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, brother. Like, I'm grateful, and to your audience that's listening, I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, red, shit. You can be purple from planet Mars. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yes, but when we start learning how to respect each other's struggle, then you're gonna understand why certain these brothers and sisters are very adamant about getting their rights, not only for themselves but for others that's going through it.
Yes, sir.
You know, don't be so quick to say, well, things are better. No, they're not, because you've never been in the skin, so you don't know.
Right.
You can only speculate. So I always try to move the conversation from the speculative people as opposed to the hardcore truth. At the end of the day, truth is a reality that hurts.
Yes,
it's supposed to hurt because it's the truth.
Yes, sir. Hey, I got to tell you, Kokane, it's been a pleasure. I want you to go ahead and let everybody know, you know, if they want to get your music, how to find you, and all your social media and everything like that. Go ahead and let the audience, you know while we're on there.
Yes, sir. Well, you can follow me on my Instagram at Kokane_brand. That's my modest page. You know what I mean? I do a lot of business from that page. Or you can follow my other Instagram. That's the main page at KOKANE_OG_. Or you can follow my Twitter at Kokane Official. For all artists out there, you know, that are inquiring features to get that platinum stamp on there, just go ahead and hit me. You know, I'm easy to talk to. You know, my wife's my manager. And make sure you tap into my website at www.buddyboymusic. The link is in my bio up on my Instagram. And make sure you get the classic Kokane collection. You know, we are Buddy Boy Entertainment, which stands for family-oriented business for real. And blessings to any new artists out there. Let these words of inspiration hit you so you can apply it to things where you're trying to go. You know, I wish the best for our youngsters that are really intuitive to intelligence and really trying to make something of themselves. I continue to say prayers for you, you know, and continue to have your own uniqueness. You know, that's the best thing I can tell anybody. But the last thing I'm going to tell you, don't eat McDonald's. Have a slow cooked meal till you get it. You'll be all right.
All right. Hey, brother, it was a pleasure. Thank you. Like I said, you're a part of the family. I welcome you. And if you ever have some more music, some other artists that you want to get up here and On the Rise Radio, hey, hit me up. They in here.
Man, say no more, man. Like, man.
All right.
Let's get it, man.
All right.
Family now, so that's what it is.
Yes, sir. We're going to end it with Monkey Wasn't Funky. Thanks a lot on the Rise Radio.
Peace.
right, everybody. This is your boy Shogun. I want to thank everybody that tuned in and checked the show out. You know, like I said, I got to give a big mad shout out to Kokane. Like I said, it was a pleasure having this young man on the station. I mean, I look forward to having some more of his music and also his daughter and anybody else that comes through. So one thing about it, everybody, you know, one thing about it, this is On the Rise Radio, and we about rising. So hey, I'll see you the next time. This is your boy Shogun, and we out of here today. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Blessings.